Hello, and thank you for watching the Mage the Ascension Chronicle, Seattle at Dawn. I am Tim Dahlia, storyteller for this escapade, and our mages will be played by my friends. Bill, why don't you go ahead and let us know who you are and who you're playing?
Hi, I'm Billie. He, him pronouns. I'm playing Charlie Newell. He's Mushroom Mage.
Mushroom Mage. So, last time we played, last week, you had a seeking. How did that go for you?
Well, I found myself in the spirit realm. I had an encounter with an extraterrestrial, and Men in Black. It was epic.
Okay.
It was an epic starting point, I must say.
Okay. How is Charlie feeling about that experience?
I'm excited and confused, and also very, very nervous about the Men in Black.
Okay. Did he have any pre-existing ideas about Men in Black or, like the secret states of the technocracy?
No, not really. It wasn't really on his radar, to begin with, until he started, noticing the lights in the sky, and then the mycelial network lighting up, and so, to even think that he might have an encounter with an alien, let alone, the idea of the Men in Black wasn't really something he just thought of.
I would imagine so. I mean, your efforts have mostly been terrestrial and of this plane and dimension, so makes sense. Okay.
Also, didn't expect a connection with the spirit.
No, but I think the mycelial network and just the nature of the Verbena and how they work, they have their pathways to the spirit wilds, and your avatar told you this was the time. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Cindy.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, let's find out more about you.
I'm Cindy. Pronouns are she, her. I play Inea Blackwell, or Nay. She is a techno mage and an activist. And she got an invitation to go meet a council, and she's not sure about this whole politicking thing because she thought that if anything was free of it, it was her magical life.
Yeah.
Since she's really immersed in the mundane politicking with her activism.
Right. Yeah. And the Dream Speakers, they've mostly come from indigenous peoples, and they've had to worry about not just politics from government and colonization and things like that, but also just the respect and of other magical traditions. Their own formation was almost an insult, because it was like, here's the Order of Hermes, and here's the Verbena, and here's all these traditions from the Middle East, or from Asia, and they all had their own groups, and then they're like, oh, you shamanistic brown folk, you're one group. And
yeah,
that's kind of what happened.
There were a whole lot of them.
And that kind of plays out even today with the Dream Speakers, because while they have become more of a united group, there are still several groups that have bucked the system. You have the Batea, who are more from the Caribbean and what they do, and then you've got the Goma, which are more African and definitely very much of a higher ritual casting magic, but in the past they would have been thrown in with the Dream Speakers. So yeah, they have their different little groups that are all out there, and the politics exist. And as a dream speaker, you've definitely got your connections to the people around you and your spirits. But being in Seattle, especially after the Ascension War has cooled down, Seattle has become this weird playground for all different points of view.
A little bit of a melting pot.
Yes. Or a crucible. We'll figure it out.
Hey, we hope for melting pot. Crucible's a little more violent. Let's not go there.
I will do my best.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have a little bit to do with that.
Somebody might have. Anyway.
Okay, that concerns me.
Nobody you know.
Yet.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying.
Alix, how about you?
Hello.
Who are you today?
I am Jesse Spinner. My name is Alix. Pronouns they, them. My character is Jesse Spinner.
Excellent. And Jesse is a member of the Cult of Ecstasy. They are.
Yes, she is.
But she is unlike some of her tradition mates, where she's not necessarily reserved. I wouldn't say that. Her style of dress and her outward appearance definitely still fits with the group dynamic of the cult. But she's oddly more introspective and, well, not even.
Yeah.
But she's not as an extrovert in that regard.
Yeah. She's introverted.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a difference. How do you see that playing out with like Sunny and other characters that are trying to pull you towards this ecstatic experience?
I think that Jesse is going to have no choice but to come out of her shell. She's going to, because she's surrounded by people who are pushing her to do just that. And for her own good, not for their good. For her own good, they're telling her to go out and explore the universe and see what's out there. And I think she's going to have no choice. And with a best friend like Sunny, honestly, what can she do?
Yeah. True. All right. So all three of you are members of a tradition. You are parts of this ancient organization that has, in the past 20 years, suffered a lot of losses. And there has been attempts to bring it back together. And each of the individual traditions are doing their part. They are still a worldwide organizations. But just laying some of the groundwork there. You guys are in positions that you're no longer neonates. You're no longer, learning how to do your magic. You guys are, at least considered disciples, at least capable of doing some of your own fantastic works. And I would imagine that each of the traditions, as part of the protocols, would look upon that and say, now you owe us. Not in a threatening way or anything, but just, part of the protocols for the 9 mystic traditions is to honor masters and reciprocate knowledge, and teach new generations. And they consider it a bit of a cycle as well, especially those at Thanatoi. They're really into the wheel. Okay, well, those are our mages. They are awesome. I am your storyteller, Tim Dahlia. Pronouns are he, him, and they will change dramatically for whatever character I'm playing. So.
Here for it.
So it's okay. I will be fine. Quick announcement or PSA for this is that just this is a World of Darkness game. There may be uncomfortable scenarios and portrayals and things that are discussed that are not your normal sitting around the table with your family discussions. So just beware that we're adults. We're playing an adult game. Adult things can happen. Viewer discretion is advised. That is a terrible typo. I need to fix that. Okay. Done. And with that, I'm going to go and start our recap. Or rather, our introduction. We'll recap it a bit. Every one of us is a product of our experiences. We are made by the threads woven into our daily lives. And yet, we are still more than a simple equation of causal events. Sleepers can only assume this, but the awakened are overwhelmingly aware of the truth beyond. From the moment of their awakening, each mage is forced to reconcile that which they knew, that which they suspected, and that which they now experience. Some go mad at that revelation. Let us hope our lot of mages avoid that particular pitfall, so commonly found upon the fragile path. With that, we will cast the first die into this game. Night. Last week, we had you pull some tarot cards. And the cards you pulled... Oh,
I remember mine. Yeah.
Everyone pulled their cards, and the night played out in accordance to what we found. And then, at the end of the night, had each of you pull new cards. Here they are. Inea,
Oh my.
she found herself pulling the Luna card. Luna represents intuition. Inner tuition, in fact. That is also the Major Arcana number 18 list. Following that, we pulled the Eight of Primordialism. And that can represent abandonment, stagnation, but not bad things, just possibly sad things. And then Bill, it took us a while to figure it out because it's not obvious on the card, but that is the
Six of Questing.
Six of Questing, which represents victory, represents the Verbena, represents the sphere of life. And I still don't understand why there's a motorcycle in that picture, but that's okay.
He's going places. He's doing things.
Yes, he's got to ride something on his quest.
Yes.
Dude's going somewhere, okay?
He's going the distance. He's going for speed. But I think, based on this reading, from what I'm seeing, we're going to jaunt over. Let me just grab these instances here. We are going to find ourselves at the center of all good things, the Pike Place
Yeah.
Market.
Piggy!
And we're going to start with Inea.
Okay.
We're starting
I
with
have-
you.
Have to do something about the volume
Is it-
on that
Yeah.
background noise.
You can change that, of course.
Working on it. Maybe.
If you go to the gear at the top,
Yeah.
there's a master volume control.
Got it.
That worked. Thank you.
Yes, much better.
Love the ambiance, but I'd love to hear y'all more.
Yeah, I would like to be able to hear voices too. Yep. Okay.
We're good. Crisis
We are
averted.
good. Yes.
I have the volume a little lower in my headset, so yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, Inea.
Yes. I
You-
was headed for the Conjurer's cubbyhole.
Mm-hmm. You find yourself walking around the market, and what are you looking for specifically? You were given kind of a business card with some address on it, but it doesn't really kind of correspond with much.
Yeah, I've got that I'm supposed to be on the first floor of Pike's Place, and that I'm looking for the Conjurer's cubbyhole. So what I'm sort of looking for as far as destination, I think, is I'm looking for any indications that I would recognize of like a node or other sort of gathering place.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not too different from liquid haze.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the esoteric indications,
Okay.
you know, that's kind of what I think I'm looking for.
Okay. So, how do you do that? How do you search out? Are you searching out with like? Are you paying attention to the spirits of the area? Are you feeling for the flow of quintessence?
I'm checking with the spirits of the area, sort of passively. I haven't like asked anybody anything specific yet,
Okay.
but looking for places where the spirits are gathered really thickly.
All right. Yeah. So you're walking around Pike Place. There's plenty of people around. Everybody is still wearing masks, but there's a vitality to this place. It shines brighter than other areas in the city, and I'm not going to make you roll for this because this is a you've got enough arete and enough practice that opening up your senses to spirit magic or spirit influence is kind of second nature at this point. But what type of what are the tools that you use to view the spirits? What's your normal aspect there?
Okay, so well, that's really situational. I'm trying to think what we talked about. In Nea's first appearances. She does tend to wear sunglasses during the daytime when she's out and about.
Okay.
So I ponder that she may have done something with those glasses to kind of help that sense of spirit, visual indications of spirit's existence to those. Almost in self-defense, considering that she's got a lot of sensitivity to that.
Okay.
Otherwise, we were talking about she's probably walking around. It's a popular tourist area. She's probably walking around with her DSLR in her hand, kind of getting the occasional shot interest shot, that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I can see a scenario where you've spoken to both the camera or even your glasses and kind of, asked for their assistance in scoping out other spirit entities. So
Yep.
yeah, okay. Not hard, easy enough. You're walking around. You manage to get past some large groups of people, and at this point it's roughly noon, and the upper part of the market is kind of the namesake of the place. It's where the produce is sold. It's where flowers are sold. There's people that sell honey and trinkets from Seattle, different sports team jerseys. This is what some people often consider come to first when they get this area. And sometimes it's considered the first floor. But it's only first because it's where you get to first. It's not first because it's
Right.
logical.
Right. It's kind of like the surface level floor.
And it's not a maze, but it is easy to get turned around. So go ahead and let's make a check. Let's roll perception and awareness. And we'll make this a difficulty 8. This is going to help you navigate and find that cubbyhole.
Perception and awareness, you said, right?
Yes. And I'll even give you a extra... Yeah, I'll give you an extra die to the dice pool because you are using spirit perceptions.
Okay. Well, I got the... Okay, so when I click the gear, I can select perception and awareness. But then I'm clicking the button and it's not doing anything. What am I missing?
It's showing up in your Roll20 main page on the board. It's not going to be in front of your character sheet. Might be behind it.
There it is. Okay. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Okay. Yeah, okay, really? Sorry, I'm typing around an insistent cat here.
Kitty time, kitty cam.
I sat still too long. He decided this was an open lap. Okay, dice pool modifier was 0?
1. It's a +1.
1. Okay. And the difficulty remains at 6, correct?
8. It's going to be 8.
8? Oh, 8. 8, 8, 8, 8. Felix, stop. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got 1 success.
1 success.
That's not fabulous.
Yeah. But no failures. I mean, it's not a failure. It's no... it's not a botch or anything, so that's not bad. Okay. So you were given this kind of generic, you will be able to find it. And so far, you have found yourself in a comic book shop. You go around the comic book shop and you find that there's a spiritualist shop, and you run around that a few times and you're like, okay, this is interesting. It's totally wrong, but okay.
It's a little closer.
You go down the arcade some more and you find a bookstore, and you get excited when you see this very grandiose magic shop with the posters and just novelty gag gifts and stuff, but you suss out that no, it's just people playing games. You move around a few more shops and you get upstairs again to the produce, and you start walking around, and you hear some singing coming from one of the stalls further down, and there's two girls that are singing, and they're singing just some simple melodies, some folk tunes, nothing that you've heard before, but nothing that's nothing avant-garde or anything. But you see that there are little spirits that tend to stick around. You see a little see like the like little sprites almost kind of dancing around. They're dancing in a circle around the feet of these two girls, and they're having a blast. And you see people walking by, and they almost always kind of stop, pay attention, and they look at the fruit, and more than a couple people you've watched walk away with probably way more than they could eat healthily. Like it's gonna go bad.
Oh man. This is why we learned to can.
Yeah. And you find it interesting. You yourself don't seem to be particularly affected.
Okay.
But it's enticing. That fruit looks really good.
I don't spend enough time at home to keep any fruit without it going bad before I can eat it.
I lament that I don't eat enough fruit.
Nay will stop and listen for a little while. It's been a heavy few days, few weeks, I guess. So it's kind of neat to see some lighthearted enjoyment, especially doing a job that, is otherwise probably pretty boring. But she's way more concerned with trying to pull up to get to somebody who might have some information about all of the crap she's seen over the last several weeks. So going back on the hunt for the council for this conjurer's cubbyhole. Looking for any sign at all that might be read to be intended to indicate where to go for this conjurer's cubbyhole kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, we're going off your one success so far on that roll. So, as you're perusing here through the fruits, Jezebel, you see this definite kind of street shaman, sort of, if you will.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Yeah. And she's looking through and the song that you're singing with Sunny kind of comes to an end, and you've got the opportunity to sell her some bananas. No, you don't sell bananas. You sell more casual fruits like tomatoes and strawberries and the like. Bananas.
We had a really good strawberry harvest.
I don't think you have a banana tree though. So
no, we're not that cool yet.
That's the tropical fruit.
We don't have a greenhouse yet.
No. But strawberries
do look fabulous.
They're
really
are
tempting.
They're juicy and sweet this season. Oh my gosh, they're so good. My aunt made this really delicious strawberry cake with them. Oh my god, it's to die for.
That's got to be amazing living on a farm with the produce so fresh.
It is. It is. It tastes good. Nothing in the city is as tasty, you know? It always feels better, tastes better when it comes from home.
All right, let me get a little basket of your strawberries. I haven't had lunch yet.
Do yourself the favor. Let me ring you up.
At this point, as you're ringing her up, a middle-aged gentleman with glasses, bald head, wearing khaki pants and kind of a button-up shirt, walks right past you, Jezzy, and then right towards Sunny. And he looks around and he's like, "Hey, babe."
Oh, this has to be Brad.
He's even worse than I thought. Please.
Hey, babe. Got something that kind of came up. I'll be back later tonight, but I got somebody to meet, and don't worry, I'll get everything situated for you. Suzanne's working on the formula, and tonight it's gonna rock your world. I guarantee it.
He's so shady. What the fuck? Get what situated? What formula? Why is she dating Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory?
And no, that would be different.
Oh my god!
But he pulls her in by the hip, and she's like, "Oh, I this is did you have a chance to meet you?" He turns around, he's like, "You're Jezebel."
You're Brad.
Yeah.
Really?
I heard that maybe you would be willing to experience something new. And let me tell you. He looks around. Actually, I don't need to do that anymore. Hey, everybody! I'm selling hallucinogenics in Seattle. Nothing. Great. I'll see you tonight. He pulls Sunny in, gives her a kiss, just kind of almost throws her back to the produce, and then walks down the steps into the arcade.
Sunny, oh my god, ew.
Isn't he great?
Ew! Like, ew! No, he's not great.
What do you mean he's not? Come on. That head, like, who can have a bald head like that? She got so smooth.
Oh, indeed. Indeed, sweetheart. Jeez, Sunny, your taste in men, I swear.
Well, I mean, look, you may not like him, but he is a genius.
Explain.
Well, he's... I can't... She looks at Inea and is like, can't talk about it here.
Fine, we'll talk later.
So
Happy?
Mm-hmm.
Nay pulls a couple of business cards out of one of her vest pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And she hands one to each young lady.
Okay. What's on
Be safe tonight. Be safe tonight, ladies. But if you need somebody local to get you out of a bad situation, you give me a call.
Yes, ma'am. Enjoy those strawberries.
Thank you. I meant looking forward to them. And she looks at Sunny. You can do so much better, sweetie.
So much. Oh my god.
She,
So
she looks
much.
down at herself. She looks at you. She's like, duh.
I love it. I love her. Oh my god. This is why she's my best friend, people. Like, this is why.
Just keep that in mind. Because he's probably not worth the trouble.
Thank you.
You have not tried
Thank
his... Well, never mind.
Oh my god, Sunny. Have a good day, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Hope you have good luck with your produce.
Thank you.
And Nay goes back to looking for the council.
Okay.
Sunny's
Oh
a mess.
my
I can't.
god, Brad.
It's the worst. He's the worst. Oh my god.
Could be... He could be terrible. You don't know. He could be the best thing ever.
He looks like a cue ball. The worst.
Actually, I have a picture of what he looks like.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm so excited for this.
I really... Sorry. This is great. And both of you are... Two of you are probably going to laugh a lot. That's Brad.
Yep.
Girl. Oh my god. I cannot. I am mortified. This absolute clown came to my aunt and uncle's produce stand in Pike Place Market. People saw that. Like, jeez. So embarrassing.
I found the best picture I could that represented both the player and the character.
So embarrassing.
Anyway.
I cannot. I am unable. Excuse me.
Anyway.
She's gone.
She's gone.
She's gone.
She's gone.
Going places.
She's gone because she knows who that is.
She's going places. Okay, that did things.
Now, Brad has departed.
Picture. I can't.
If you didn't want people to see a picture like that, you shouldn't have put it on Facebook. Okay. Now. We'll give Cindy some time to catch up. Here.
Oh baby.
No. Jimmy, I love you. I'm not sorry.
I don't know how he gets away with selling drugs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's legal now. He can do it in the open. So, at
Well, yeah.
least his
That's true. That's true.
brace himself. Oh, this episode is taking place like just after the announcement that Seattle has decriminalized hallucinogens.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's absolutely the truth.
That is a
That's-
truth.
I love living here. I
That's-
love living here so much.
That's just the city of Seattle, though.
Just the city of Seattle. That is correct.
I am in the beautiful city of Seattle.
All right. Good luck. We'll put a pin in that. Nay.
Okay. I'm sorry. That was unexpected. Okay.
Wow. That's one surprise. Nay.
Yes.
You continue past the booth and you come across a couple different stalls that are selling framed pictures and fairly knickknacks and some bags, and you get to the end of the street and the Pike Place Street comes across another road, and cutting across both of those is Western Avenue. And across from Western Avenue is a park, kind of a green space for people to hang out at. There's a fountain, there's some benches, tables, and you see across the street a fire show. You see a very attractive late 20s woman in a tank top. Even though it's a little cold, but she's spinning these chains with fire at the end, and it is a spectacular show. And you see sitting near the display a young man, probably in his late teens, early 20s, side of his head shaved, kind of muscled red hair. Surrounding him are 3 dogs. There's a rather portly beagle and a... Check my notes here. There's a portly beagle, ish type mutt. Then there is a pit bull and what looks to be like a German Shepherd, Husky, Wolfhound mix. Really big. So 2 big dogs and a small chubby dog. These are people that you recognize. You see.
I know these people. I've seen them a lot.
You've worked with them in the past, as you have. This is Cinder and Sabra. And Sabra is sitting there with a kind of a collection plate in front of Cinder as Cinder does her dance. And there's a small crowd that is gathered. What you doing?
I'm going to wander over to Sabra and drop a 5 in the collection plate and just crouch down and say, hey, I was asked to go pay a visit to the Conjurer's Cubbyhole today. Can you tell me, do you happen to know where I can find that place?
He looks up, and Sabra doesn't talk very much. No one really knows a lot, at least not outside of his cabal, of his history. You know that he's hung around Khan and Cinder for a long time and has been the speculation of others that have seen, like they think that there was some sort of abuse that's gone on with him. He's always wearing very baggy clothes, and just his eyes are always kind of sullen, sunken in. I actually do have a picture of him as well. We'll pull up these 2. That's right. You got Cinder working across the street, and you've got Sabra here, like I said, kind of that messy red hair shaved on the sides. And he kind of looks up at you and he's like, why would you want to go to that place?
Amnesia at the Liquid Haze said that the council wants to see me.
Amnesia. She used to be okay. Now she's working with those tradition mages.
Fine. I think she's still okay, but she's probably got to work with them a little bit to keep the Liquid Haze going.
All right, if you say so. Yeah, if you're looking for Frosty's place, It's down there, down Western Avenue. And he points straight ahead, like where Pike Place goes one direction, Western Avenue goes the opposite direction. Where Pike Place runs the top of the building, Western Avenue kind of goes and catches the bottom on the other side of the buildings.
Okay, great. Thank you for your help. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for the primal assets, as Khan would say.
I know you'll do good with them.
Yeah. Hey, you gonna be there tonight?
Where exactly?
Woodland Park.
What's going down? I hadn't heard.
He looks around a little bit, stands up and scratches one of the dog's heads. He's like, all right. So tonight, there's been talk of, well, you know about the attacks. We've been trying to intercept them, catch them as much as possible, but they seem to be a bit ahead of us on just about everything. We don't know why, but we just keep missing, and more of our brethren get attacked. So
I've been hearing.
So Woodland Park has kind of grown into its own, city for the houseless. We're gonna set up and do a bit of a patrol tonight. I didn't know if Khan had reached out to you or not, or that freak Gryffindor, or Gryffindor, or Ravenclaw, or whatever. Stupid.
I know who you're talking about.
Stupid superhero stuff.
He hadn't, but I've been kind of on the move a lot, so he might have just missed me. But yeah, I'll be there. What time are you expecting to get started?
Sundown. So like 7-ish, 8-ish.
Okay. I'll swing by about 6:30 to make sure I'm here before anything gets started.
We're trying to play the numbers, One of those things where there's just too many places to reach out to.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really seem to plan it. They just targets of opportunity. At least that's how it looks.
Yeah. Anyway, good seeing you, Inea. I'm sorry about everything.
Don't be, Sabra. I'm glad to help when I can. Okay. Have a good day. Right. I'll see you this evening.
He sits Pick down and he picks Chubby up and just kind of puts Chubby down in his lap. And yes, that is the name of the dog. And then just kind of continues to watch people as they walk by. You sense that Sabra is extending something to get people's attention to focus towards Cinder. And go ahead and give me another perception and awareness check with a difficulty of 8.
No mod?
Same mod, +1. We're still in the same scene, so your perceptions are still up.
4 successes.
4 successes. 4 successes. You walk down the available space, down Western Avenue, and you look around and you see you see the stairs that come down from the arcade, and there's a row of other shops. One is a paper shop. Another sells hats. And you walk past, and there's kind of a blank space, and you walk past it, and there's this pinkish building, or like just pink everywhere, and you're not quite sure what they sell there because it doesn't really even say. And then you get a bit of a strange tickle at the back of your skull. You turn around and you find yourself looking at the wall, and there's two large doors for vehicles, and next to it another set of doors, and they're all very industrial looking, very mundane looking, and there's like no writing or nothing. You're not sure what this is. And then you start thinking a little bit harder, and you see through your sunglasses that the building you're looking at, there's a poster on one of the doors. And you walk back over to the poster, and you look up, and you look closer at the door, above the doors, and you see in gold script the Conjurer's Cubbyhole. And you see next to it the symbol that tradition mages have used to represent the prime sphere of magic. And the poster on the door looks like that. It says, Rudolfo, the King of Magic. It is an old vintage poster. It is... You're surprised it hasn't like disintegrated out here in this weather. But next to the poster, right there, in the little door to the next to it, is a small little sign that says, "Come in, we're open."
I shall do so.
You walk in, and immediately the smell of cotton candy mixed with dragon's blood incense fills your nostrils, and you see a few different rows of glass cases and all sorts of knickknacks and curios around. Along the edges there are glass shelves, and everything pristine and kept neat. This is not like the magic shop upstairs where everything's kind of chaos. This is a grand display of magic items and magical history. There are posters of Houdini, but more so there are posters of Rudolfo. And you see different eras of Rudolfo's performance. You see posters from that look like they're from the 40s and 50s, and then you see some that are from like a little bit older, and Rudolfo ages in all of them. And all but one, he's got a top hat and a glorious mustache and a goatee. And he's always wearing the best suit of the era, surrounded by playing cards and magical boxes, and this is a magic shop. And
Okay.
sitting at one of the counters is not Rudolfo, sad to say. But it is a gentleman in his 30s with kind of messy, spiky, white hair, kind of a black roots, and kind of get that gray, almost bluish tinge to it. And he looks a little bored. You're probably the first person that's walked in here all day.
Probably, and I'm going to disappoint the heck out of him too.
And he looks up, and he's like, "Greetings!" He immediately goes into stage performance.
Oh boy.
And he's like, "Welcome to the Conjurer's Cubbyhole," and he starts doing something with his hands, and then he produces some playing cards, and he's like, "All right, so what brings you in today?"
Actually, a friend of mine, Amnesia from the Liquid Haze, gave me this card and said there were some people that might like to see me today.
Oh, indeed. Ready for the big event, I see. He throws the cards up in the air and they shuffle in an arc down from one hand to the other. And he lands in a deck and he cuts it and he's like, presents it to you.
I'll pick a card.
Good. Puts the deck back. He shuffles it a bit, fans it out. So, go ahead and put your card back in there.
Tuck it in back in there.
He folds it back up. It's like, you remember which card it was?
Sure.
Excellent. And then he starts shuffling the deck. He rolls it through and he's like, all right. And he's looking at the deck and it's right there. He's like, now, how much do you want to bet that your card is on the top of this deck?
Not a betting kind of girl.
You'd be wise, because he pulls it and it's your card.
Impressive.
Not as impressive as he throws that card away, and as it flies away, it flames and becomes nothing. And he pulls another card from the top. It's the exact same card. How about that?
Okay. I'm impressed.
Not impressed yet. Because throws that away and it disappears again. And he's like, now, here's something truly improbable. He takes the deck and he fans it in front of you. And every single card was the exact same one that you picked. It's like, now, this is not a good magic trick because, as you've probably guessed, every card's the same. He puts it down on the deck there. It's like, however, that's not the end of the trick because that's nothing. That's not magic. Takes the deck again, throws it on its side, fans it out again, and this time, all the cards are blank. And the trick wouldn't work anyway. People would never believe the trick if I just gave you a blank card. But how about this one? And let me see the card that you have.
I don't have a card. I put it back in the deck.
No, the one that Amnesia gave you.
Oh. There you go.
Takes that card. Like, And he cups it in his hand. He blows on it a bit. And it folds into a crane. It's like, that is magic.
Okay.
So, you here to see the big guys?
If that means the council, then yes. My name's Inea Blackwell.
There hasn't been a council here for years. They want to be a council. I don't know. I'm just here watching the shop for Rudy. Don't say I ever called him Rudy. He would not like that. But yeah, you're a bit early. It's gonna be a small gathering, private show, if you will. Later tonight for the traditions. I'm assuming looks at you like, I mean, I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm gonna say you're a dream speaker, Kha'vadi, right?
Close enough.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. So, yeah. Later tonight, around 6 o'clock, when the whole place shuts down, private viewing. Gonna be exciting. I hear there's an announcement from from overseas.
Any idea how long that's gonna take?
I mean, have you ever been to the theater?
Okay, so we're talking an actual show, huh?
No, I mean, have you ever been to the theater?
Not this one, no.
Oh. Okay. Well, time's a little different in the theater. It may not take very long at all. It could take days. We don't know.
Got someplace to be this evening.
Oh. Well, you could always chance it. I mean, that's what I do.
Any likelihood there's going to be another gathering I could join?
I don't know. It's pretty important.
Okay. Well, maybe I can shuffle something around a little bit.
I mean, if Amnesia thought that you should be here, she's usually...
Well, that's why I'm here.
She's usually not wrong about people.
That's why I'm here. She's not steered me wrong yet. All right. I'll try and be back by. About 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, 6 o'clock. And
is there a dress code?
Looks down at himself. Thinks about it for a moment. I don't think so.
What's your name?
Frosty.
Okay, Frosty. I'll probably see you this evening then.
Yeah. Catch you then. And it's at that moment we go back to Charlie. Charlie.
Yeah, that would be me.
You made your decision to come to Seattle. How did you make your way to Seattle from the Olympic National Forest?
I would have had to borrow my mom's van.
Borrowed your mom's van. Got it. So, parking's not too difficult. I mean, much as what people want to say about Seattle, yeah, you can find a place to park. Not too bad. But you do have to walk a bit. And...
Always.
And, you were told, you called up Brad, and you said, hey, Brad, what did you say to Brad?
Well, I gave him a brief description of, like, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And, asked if he had any info on, these men in black, or if he had heard anything through the grapevine about the crash, or, even if that was, if that's something that he knew anything about.
Right. Okay.
And I run into Brad all the time anyway, just in myself having this connection with mushrooms.
Yes.
And him, being a guy that deals psychedelics.
Yeah. You are familiar with Brad's operations. You've had some conversation with him. You are acquaintances, and he is your connection to a lot of the things that happen in Seattle. You keep tabs on it. He keeps his ear to the ground because he is a man of the people, and he believes that there is always better living through better pharmaceuticals. He is an alchemist. He is a master at his craft, you sense that at some point in his life, things didn't go so well for him. Because every time you've met up with him, it's been in a busted up RV that he seems to live out of. You make your way to Pike Place. Oh, actually, before you do, he's like, over the phone, he's like, yeah, I'll be in Seattle here pretty soon, bro. But, and I got things to do. But, yeah, I'll meet up with you at Pike Place. I've got everything I need set up there. Things are going really well. Hey, by the way, those
Yeah, man.
Those spores you gave me last week, phenomenal. They have this really smooth kick that rolls in like a wave, and then just hammers you like throws you into another reality. I don't know where you got that stuff, man, but if you get more of that, we could change the world.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
And
it's Liberty Cap season, buddy. So that's always easy to forage out where I'm at.
Fantastic. And if I could sell more of this, I could change my address.
Well, we'll see what we could do. I mean, the forest is full of mushrooms, but it's a lot of work actually. Going out and finding them.
Well, I mean, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Cool, bro. I will find whoever I can. I think I got somebody that I can hook you up with. Just let me think about it. You said big black eyes, gray skin, right?
Yeah. Pretty close to what they see in the movies.
Yeah, but we know what they... You know about that. Okay. I will not talk about this on this phone.
Okay. I got you there, bud.
Okay. I will see you at the marketplace.
All right, thanks, Brad, man. I'll see you there.
What he neglected to tell you is where he was going to be.
Yeah, but his RV isn't that difficult to,
True.
to spot.
Very true.
So
you find yourself wandering around looking for this RV. And I would need you to also make a perception and awareness roll with a difficulty of 8.
all right.
Now, you're not specifically looking for anything magical, but do you do anything to enhance your senses in this on this day?
Yeah, actually, this would be a good opportunity to microdose,
Okay.
just to give myself a connection to the mushrooms while I'm away from the network.
Okay. Are you invoking what sphere of magic? What perceptions are you trying to open up?
Well, sight, so that I can see magic around me.
Okay. So prime. You're just looking
Yeah.
at just the ebb and flow of quintessence.
Yeah, exactly. Just,
Okay.
So if there were markings that somebody left behind, that kind of thing, that you wouldn't spot without enhancements that I would see that.
Okay, cool. Like I said, this is a perception thing. This is something that nearly every mage is like the first thing they learn is how to sense the different spheres. And given that this is something that you typically do until successful, no need to roll. So you and when it comes to microdosing, it's not really take it until you see things, but you know what I mean.
Right, exactly. It's just like you want to take less than what you would actually feel, but it enhances your perceptions a little.
You know, this actually may be something that we have to roll for because of this additional element that's out of your control.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your arete. This is just a one sphere effect, so the difficulty, and it's coincidental, so the difficulty is 4. So it's not terribly hard. So we just want to see if you do or do not botch, essentially.
Difficulty is 4.
Yep. You also have the option to spend willpower to get an automatic success if you wanted.
Oh, looks like no successes.
No, you've got 1 success.
Yeah,
You've
but
got
I've also got a 1.
You've got a 4,
Oh,
an 8.
oh, it's a 4 down there.
Yeah. A 4, an 8, and a 1.
All right.
So that is actually 1 success. And since it's an effect,
Sweet.
that's 1 coincidental and 2 on yourself. There's no paradox, and there's and it's successful. So you
Outstanding.
successfully allow your senses, and it's interesting because it's not like sight where you can see stuff or hear things. It's almost as if it's another sensory organ where you can feel the movement of reality. The things kind of shift and move and become more solid or less solid, and it's just a thing that you sense. It's not like bright lights. It's not like an aura or anything. It's just this feels more real, or this feels like it's in transition.
All right. That totally makes sense.
Yeah. And as you move your way across the different aspects of Pike Place, give me a perception and awareness roll +1 to your dice pool with a difficulty of 8. You've got a lot of this, so this is going to be a lot of dice. Okay. Easy enough. You follow the different lanes of reality, and you shift, and then you see parked just brazenly on the street at Steinbrooks Park is this beat up RV that you know to be, I can't even find, there it is, Brad's mobile lab.
Oh, that's exactly how I pictured it.
And you, yes, I hope so.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing so hard. James, I love you.
He made this character, all right?
Jimmy, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm laughing, but I'm not sorry.
It's beautiful. I really do wish I had the opportunity to play with him yesterday. Something came up, weren't able to, but I'll catch him sometime this week, maybe. him and Michelle. I've got Amia's got stuff going on for her too. Anyway, So you see Brad's van, the RV, and he typically has it set up where the picture here doesn't show it, of course, but you know from experience that he's got a kind of a mail slot in the door and a LED display that is often used for transactions.
Nice.
So, up to you. What would you like to do? It's also not far from the park where you see somebody spitting fire. And now they're transitioning to what looks like cutlasses.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I get distracted by that for a few moments, and then I'll
As
just
you
walk
would.
over to the RV and do my usual knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and the LED display pops up, and it's like, it says, "Who's this?"
Hey man, it's Charlie.
And the text comes back, "Oh,
Oh,
were we meeting today?" Question mark.
well, that's what we talked about earlier.
You hear some rummaging in the inside the trailer in the RV, and you hear the door unlock, and the sign says, "You're on the list. Come in."
All right, I cautiously open the door.
You open the door, and it occurs to you that you've never been inside the RV before.
No,
But it
yeah, that.
and you're not sure why you didn't expect this, but there is a heavy, pungent smell that comes from inside the RV. It's almost like there's a
Go
bit
ahead.
of a chemical smell, but there's also a very earthy smell as well.
Well, I brace myself and step inside.
So you step inside, and without much warning, you feel a hand on your back push you forward a bit, close the door, and latch it.
Whoa, man, what the fuck?
You turn around, and standing just a foot beneath you, like your height, is a red orangutan.
What the fuck?
And it looks up at you and signs something. Do you know sign language?
No. I mean, just the little bit I've picked up from the little bit of TV I watch, so no.
She signs again, rolls her eyes, looks kind of upset, and then kind of saunters over to the back to a keyboard, and then points at the screen next to her and types, "Brad's not here."
Okay. Sorry about not knowing the language. Do you know when he'll be back?
She types, "He went to go to the club. He's trying out some new stuff. Met a girl. Dot, dot, dot.
Hmm. Any idea where the club's at or what it's called?
She wipes the screen. I mean, yeah, of course I do.
Could you share that information?
She types again. Sure. But
Okay.
why?
Well, I needed to talk to Brad about. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. And I was supposed to meet him, so if I could meet him there, then that would work just as well.
Fine. The place is called Lakashim. He's in the arcade now with her.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What's your name, by the way?
Oh, look, he decides to ask who I am now.
I'm sorry, this is kind of amazing.
What? That I can type? It's not that fucking hard.
I just don't have any reference. You know, I haven't not spent much time with apes.
Yes, you do. Every fucking day you're with an ape.
Okay, well, I suppose I am a bit of an ape. That's true. We are related. Orangutans in particular. Then I've never hung out with an orangutan.
Okay,
Orangutan?
whatever. I'm Suzanne.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Suzanne.
I wish I could say the same.
My apologies.
Okay, that's
I
a start.
promise that I'm this awkward with people as well.
That's probably true.
Well, I guess I'll go look for Charlie if that's, unless you, you know, unless you got anything else to tell me, or you
No.
just want to chat or what.
I mean, and then just as she's in the middle of typing, you hear a on the door. It's like, hold on, got a customer. She
Word.
flips the switch. She types something, and you see the flap, open up, and you see an envelope slide in, fall to the ground. She goes over to one of the tables, grabs another envelope, walks over to the flap and opens it and slides it out. She goes back to the desk and types out, "Sorry, customers."
Yep. Yeah, you got to work.
Oh, yeah, I have to work.
Do you usually run things, or does Brad usually do this stuff? You do, what you want.
She gestures around the cabin. She's like, "Does it look like Brad does a lot of work here?"
I mean, no, he's certainly not here to say one way or another, but I'll take your word for it.
That's sweet. So, what are you
So
into?
yeah, I mean mushrooms mostly. That's kind of my field of study.
Study. So, like a scientist? She put scientists in quotes.
Yes, actually, but probably not in the way that you're thinking. I'm not a grower or anything like that. I actually am a mycologist.
Does that pay well?
I do all right with the, getting paid for lectures, but I have a presence online, that kind of thing. I mean, it pays the bills, but that's about it. Gives me the opportunity to spend a lot of time in nature.
She almost looks forlorn when you mention hanging out in nature. And then she's back. She's like, well, if you're going to catch Brad, you should get going. I'll tend the shop. Looks like I'm driving home alone again tonight.
All right. Well, yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you. That's pretty cool.
She offers you a hand.
I shake it.
And she, says thank you. And
that's one sign that I do know.
yes. And she unlatches the door and makes sure that nobody could see in while she opens it.
I quickly get out.
Door slams and latches. And you see on the LED display, pleasure meeting you. Goodbye.
Take it easy, Suzanne. And I head off towards the arcade.
Okay. As you're heading towards the arcade, you sense something in your pocket.
Oh. I check it out.
It is a playing card that has the Conjurer's Cubbyhole logo on it.
Oh. What is this?
And it's gonna be a petathon here in a second.
Since we're showing off the foofies.
I have an orangutan.
She came in and startled me by bumping my leg with her cold nose, so she got punitive cuddles.
She wants cuddles. Give the baby cuddles.
Well, we'll quote Jason Mewes. I'm just a junkie with a monkey. So, you look at the card, and the back of it is clearly a playing card deck from the Conjurer's Cubbyhole. And you flip it around, and instead of the normal face card that you would expect, like with a Joker or an Ace or whatever, it's a blank card, and you rub it between your fingers a bit, and with your primal senses, because you are tuned into this this reality, you see form an invitation that says, "Come, private viewing, 6 p.m. with the day's date."
All right. I don't know what this is about.
You make your way across the street. You walk past the juggler, and you take note that she is very attractive. It is distressingly, disturbingly attractive. It's uncomfortable.
Wow.
There's an aura about her that's not just not just her normal physical beauty, but that prime energy that you feel is just radiating. You could just, it's not just visual and audible and sense. It's just, she is more real than real.
Well, I have to take a moment to watch.
And sitting in front of her is a boy, young man, very baggy clothing, 3 dogs, and a collection plate. And you can kind of feel a bit of a tingle and a compulsion to give.
Well, I was already going to, so I'm going to throw a couple of dollars into the collection plate.
The kid with the sullen eyes looks up at you and it's just kind of cool. Then, as you continue your trek, you walk past the fruit stand, and you see a couple guys, a couple girls, and you hear this beautiful singing, and you feel the movement of prime energy as Jezebel and Sunny finish their song, and you walk by, and there's this attractive woman with burgundy hair, piercings, dark skin, and she looks at you and she thinks, and what does Jezzy say as Charlie stops to inspect the produce?
Hey, what are you looking for today? I have to tell you, the strawberry harvest this year has been choice. Okay, do yourself the favor.
Well, I was actually just kind of passing by, but I couldn't help but take notice of your stand.
I mean, I don't
Everything
blame you.
looks so beautiful.
Right? It's gorgeous. I have to tell you. So, my aunt made this delicious strawberry cake, and she used our fresh strawberries from the farm. Oh, yes, darling. It was delicious.
I do like strawberries.
Right? Who doesn't? Strawberries are awesome.
All right. You've convinced me.
Absolutely. Let's get you some strawberries.
I love it when I don't have to make you do anything to roll. You're a great salesperson, Jesse.
Thank you.
Well, everybody needs a little more fruit in their life.
Absolutely. It's good for you. And it tastes delicious. It's amazing.
Indeed. So, Charlie, you pick up a small little bag of strawberries. How are you selling them? In like little bags or baskets?
Yeah, we have these little baskets. We like to make baskets, tiny ones. But they hold about a pound of strawberries each. So our smaller baskets are a pound. If you want more than a pound, it's a bigger basket and therefore more money.
Well, I'm gonna just want one because I'm just walking and I'm just.
You only need one for that cake, darling.
Well, I don't think it's gonna make it all the way to the cake. It'll be lucky if it makes it out of the market.
They won't. They're delicious.
Indeed. Okay. Anything else you guys wanted to do there, Charlie?
No.
Okay. So you get past this produce stand, you make your way down the stairs into the arcade, and sitting on the bench opposite of one of the stairways going down is Brad, Mr. Fitzgerald himself.
All right.
He's sitting there, his hands steepled. He looks like he's contemplating something. It's almost... You don't quite have aura sense up or anything like that, so you're not seeing his aura, but there's a seriousness to him at this moment.
And I was just about, like, happily call out to him, and in seeing that, I kind of decide not to, and just approach and try to, get his attention with my movements as I approach.
He scoots over a bit on the bench, looks at you. He's like, "Have a seat."
All right. Pull up next to him. What's going on, Brad? You all right?
I'm Peachy. I've got a beautiful 20-something girl waiting for me upstairs. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I got some really delicious strawberries here. And I just had a conversation with an orangutan, so the day's going pretty well so far.
I've talked to that orangutan every day for the past 15 years. Trust me. Trust me. The novelty will wear off.
I'm sure it does.
So, you got...
So, man, you heard anything? And yes, I do have some Liberty caps here for you, and I've got like not quite a half an ounce of Ashers, but I know that's not like, it's just a little bit.
Okay. Fine. He looks up a bit, looks around. So, what you're getting involved in is some scary technocracy shit.
Okay.
What you're describing to me, when I reached out to some of my old contacts, have you ever heard of the New World Order?
I mean, vaguely.
Okay. When I say New World Order, what's the first thing?
I know you're not talking about. Well, I mean, obviously, the first thing that pops in my head is George Bush, but I know you're not talking about that.
No, certainly not George Bush. And I'm really glad you didn't say Kevin Nash. So,
no.
You may not be old enough to know who that is. I do.
I probably just don't watch enough TV to know who that is.
No problem. I spent some time watching a lot of TV. Sitting down. You ever been married, Charlie?
No. Have you been married?
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm unmarried yet. It's complicated.
All right.
But
I'll note that on your Facebook status.
one of the things about being married is that you compromise and you do things that you don't always want to do. Like watch TV, cook, mow the lawn. I didn't want to do any of that shit.
Relate to that.
Thought I was happy. Thought things would come together and everything would be great, especially after our kids were born. That went further down the rabbit hole. Miserable sons of bitches. I don't like them either. I suppose that's why I'm not married anymore. Or, rather, why those divorce papers are still on the table. Granted, I haven't been back to the house for about a year, so I don't know. It's been a weird year.
I'm kind of amazed at learning all this about you.
I'm having a very introspective day, Charlie. You know why? Because I'm scared. I'm scared because you saw an alien. Let's be honest, that's what you saw. You saw an alien, and people from the technocracy were involved, and they didn't kill you. And now you're here, talking to me about it.
Yeah. Sorry?
I don't need this in my life. I've got 2 kids that I gotta pay for. That alimony check that's supposed to come out of my normal job's paycheck is bigger than my normal job's paycheck. You know what I mean? I live in an RV with an orangutan. And they expect me to fucking teach kids how to do chemistry. Anyway.
Well, I'm sorry to unload all this on you, man. I didn't exactly want to unload it on me in the first place.
That's fair. I reached out to some of our fighting brothers in the Certamen court. They've dealt with some technocracy stuff. They were old school Ascension warriors. Not like Malcolm. Not like me. We chickened out. But no, these guys, they were in it. They might have been in the Masasa War. Who knows? But they've dealt with the technocracy. They know things. And they all told me that if I really wanted to help with an investigation of this sort, to get to an extraterrestrial incursion, there are members of the Society of Ether that would probably be able to help. And as it turns
that's a good start.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as it turns out, I actually do happen to know one of these cats.
Well, even better.
He's not on Earth right now.
Okay.
But
What
I can
planet might he be?
The Order of Hermes teaches a cosmology. And while the Society of Ether is not the same, I would say that he's not on a different planet, but he is in a different realm.
Oh, okay. Okay. I have very little experience with that myself, but after what I did experience in the woods the other night, I have an idea of what they're talking about.
So I will put out a request for Lucas to return. And he may be able to give you more information into this event and where you can go to find more information about the mirror shades that you came across. That's the best I can do.
Okay.
But he's also got some friends here in town. Let me get you some of their contacts as well. And he pulls out a dossier, and he hands you the dossier. He's like,
What?
there's a couple people there. You can look through it, but no big deal now. Just let him know that Brad Fitzgerald is looking for Lucas, and they may have a way of getting a hold of you.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, man. I'm sorry to stress you out like this.
It's
Put you in
fine.
harm's way.
It's fine. I got this 25-year-old upstairs who's gonna, we all have our own stress relief, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pop some Molly, have a good time.
Plan to.
Nay needs to not meet this guy. She'll kick his ass.
Jezzy also needs to not meet this guy again. I'm gonna commit crimes.
Sorry.
Brad is the worst. He's the worst.
I mean, what is saving his ass right now is that neither one of them knows this shit.
Right,
That he's
that's
talking
it.
like this.
That's
That's
it.
all that's saving him.
Jezzy would have killed him. Like, she would have had to. Oh my god, he's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, I swear.
Hey.
Sunny needs help. Girl.
Brad gets up. He takes your offering of various mushrooms and spores that he can play around with. Some that he doesn't have to play around with too much to actually get any type of useful effect. And
Sweet.
he gathers that up and he's like, when I first awakened, I thought I would know everything. I thought everything would make sense. Now, like 20 years later, 30 years later, God, 30 years later almost. And I'm living in an RV with an orangutan.
Yeah, man. Life's funny like that, I guess.
It is. I'm gonna go have some fun.
You should.
Yes. He then turns around and puts his hat on and walks out.
Well, I'm going to look over this dossier.
Okay. Dacia's got a list of names and numbers to call. Nobody that you recognize. You've mostly dealt with Verbena circles. These are certainly people outside of that.
I have an idea that there are people outside of that in the Seattle area, but I haven't really stretched outside my circles much.
Yeah, the especially, I mean, when you get to your level of expertise with magic, the Verbena are, you know, very insular a lot of times. Jezebel.
Hello, hello.
Today has been a fruitful day. Pardon the pun.
I will not. I love it.
Okay.
No pardon for you, Tim.
All right, I'll take it. You met Brad briefly.
Ugh.
And it's getting close to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mhm.
The day has started to slow down a bit. There's been a couple little rushes here and there, but pretty steady. Everybody's still intrigued by the sense of allure with all your fruits and vegetables, the smells.
Mhm.
And at this time, Brad comes up to the stand. He doesn't walk past you. He doesn't go immediately to Sunny or anything like that. He walks up and looks at you and he's like, "Sup?"
Ugh. Hello.
Hi.
What can I do for you, honey?
Oh, I was just sitting here doing a little business. And well, I was just kind of thinking about what you might need.
Do you
And
want an honest answer, darling?
I don't mean anything rude or explicit. Don't get me wrong. You're attractive, but
God,
I'm talking business here.
please don't.
Sunny informed me that you, like her, are part of the cult. I am not. I'm part of the Kha'vadi. Let's be honest about that. I'm not a part of your ancient traditions, although in a way I am. But I was wondering, do you party?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Why? Why do you ask?
Well, I think it's in the collective interests of society, particularly of our society, to try new things. And I think you are specifically the tradition of breaking tradition and trying new things.
You're not wrong.
I think, perceptions aside, you can help me out, and I can help you out.
Oh, do tell.
I don't do what I do because I think that we should be high forever and live in a world where there's chaos and danger. I do what I do because I believe I believe in personal ascension. I believe that each of us can open up the pathways to greatness. And I know that what I do is for the good of all. Now, have there been stumbling blocks? Of course. The 70s was a great time.
The 70s? How old are you, dude?
Oh, I'm not that old. I'm just saying that my friends in my, I guess you'd call it a tradition at the time, they helped your tradition push the boundaries back then. I think we could do the same here. We are in a very friendly city to such ideas. If you can rally the cult, and I could bring more of the Kha'vadi to the city, we might be able to change things. We could be the first city in America to ascend together.
You're talking about using my tradition and my people to fulfill your vision.
Our vision.
And it's not my vision. I want to know why I should do this.
Well, motivated self-interest.
Explain.
I was just thinking about this a few moments ago myself. When I awakened, the epiphany I had, the education that I had, was a vision of personal and societal ascension. That through my works, we could make the world a better place. You know, I almost cured the common cold once. That's a different story. But I have seen that we are not as unified as we'd like. That we have no cohesion. We have the technocracy trying to push this idea of unity through conformity. And we have the traditions that, for all their wonder of mystics and magic, they're a mess. Look at us. Or look at them. Sorry. Past 20 years, they have spent debating on what to do. And yes, we no longer have cyborgs breaking down our doors and trying to kill us and our families. That's, that's nice not to be happening as much as it used to.
Bygones.
But do you think it's going to come back if the traditions have their way? If they reunify and strengthen their support, do you not think the technocracy is going to bring the hammer down?
Of course they are.
Of course they are. And then I realized that there was a third choice. a disparate choice. There are others out there, Jezebel. Not just the traditions, not just the technocracy. And I'm not speaking of those crazy demonic fucks. No. Talking about those of us that were left behind. The Salipakati, the Alibatan, the Sisters of Hippolyta, if you will. All of them could be our salvation. But there's nothing to bring them into a family. But the cult has those connections. I bet you that the cult of ecstasy, the Sahajiya, whoever you want to call yourselves, I bet you know all of those groups. You have been the freest of the traditions. You have mingled with everyone. I want to bring them all together. I think that we could make this world a better place if we did something other than what we've done for the past 1,000 years. Try something new.
All right, Brad. I'm going to level with you. I don't like you at all.
Oh, I know that.
I'm glad. So we're on the same page.
Of course.
But at the very least, I find your vision interesting. And I know just the person to talk to. So we'll see how we go.
Okay. That's fair. Rome wasn't built in a day.
A revolution takes time, darling.
Oh,
It's gotta simmer like a good broth.
I agree. And I love broth.
Who doesn't? Stop! You're not gonna make me like you. Go away.
All right. Well, you guys close up shop here around like 6 o'clock, right?
Around about, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be back. Obviously not for an answer from you. Just we'll hit the buses, get a train. The Lagashim's a bit south from here. I gotta get my bag.
Fair. Well, Sunny wanted to meet you anyway, and I'm definitely not letting her go alone. So, I guess I'll see you there.
Sure. That sounds good. Have a good time. I hear they got a new DJ tonight. See how it goes.
That sounds good.
All right. Oh, and forgot. You're gonna think I put it there, but when you check your pocket, it wasn't me.
Excuse me?
And he just turns around and keeps walking.
Oh. Okay. Now I have to check. I check my pockets.
Okay. You pull out a playing card.
Oh.
And the playing card has on the back of it gold script that spells out the Conjurer's Cubbyhole.
Oh.
And on the front of it, not the back, the front of the card is a invitation spelled out to Jezebel Spinner of the Cult of Ecstasy. And then the Cult of Ecstasy switches to Sahajiya. And then back and forth a couple times. And lands on Sahajiya. And it says, you are invited to a private viewing in the Conjurer's Cubbyhole on Western Avenue, 1508.
All right. I look at the card. And then real quick, I look back at Sunny to make sure she didn't see. Because it just has my name on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I real quick put it back in my pocket.
Okay. What do you do now?
It's near closing, right?
It's about 3 o'clock. Just after 3.
3 o'clock? We close. Okay.
Close
So we
around
close
6.
at 6.
Yeah.
I go back to Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to tell her about this. So I ask her. So, quick question.
Yeah.
Where the hell did she meet Brad?
You gotta ask her now.
I'm asking Sunny. Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I was at the Lakashim with the girls, and he was there, and he had this suitcase, and he opened up the suitcase, and he had the most amazing LSD. Oh my God, that night was amazing.
Sunny Bear, darling.
And then
You found a guy in a club with drugs in a suitcase?
yes. And then the following week, he was there, and there was something new. He I don't even remember what he called it. It had an X in the name, but it wasn't X. It was something else. But my God, Jezzy, like, it was like, you ever feel that sand that you put your hands in, that's like, it kind of stays in one spot,
Oh yeah.
and like it's like wet sand, but it's not wet.
Yeah. I love that stuff.
Imagine feeling like you're that stuff, and everything can impress upon you, and you keep that shape for a moment, and then you fall back out. Imagine you're that sand. And now imagine somebody molding you and forming you and making you better. It was like that. It was like the universe was sculpting me.
That does sound amazing. But you were safe, right? Like there was nothing serious that went on. Like he didn't do anything, did he?
I mean, I'm not sure what you mean.
He just gave you the drugs, no problem.
Oh, I totally fucked him.
Oh God. Sunny.
What? Oh, come
Was
on.
it
Come
good?
on. Come on. Like that's
Wait,
that's not a big
wait.
deal. Jesus. Like,
No. Was it at least good?
yes.
Okay, well, fair.
I mean, look, he's an older dude, right? Okay. And
Yeah.
there's just something about, I don't know, there's a little bit of a confidence about him that you don't get from these younger guys. I don't know, it's like he's done things, he's seen things, it's not like we did anything like crazy or anything. It's just
Sonny, he's an older guy. Of course he's more confident. He's been around longer.
exactly. Yeah. So what's the big
That's
deal?
fine.
What's the big deal? No big deal.
It's fine. It's fine. He's just slimy. You know, be careful. That's all. Just he's ugh.
Oh,
He's shady. And I don't want you to get hurt. That's all.
Jesse.
As long as he makes you happy and he treats you well, I don't have anything to say.
Jesse, we manipulate people to buy more fruit.
Yes.
Come on.
It's good fruit.
Oh, no shit. It's good fruit. But it's not like we're not shady either. Come on.
Fair. That's fair. Okay, fair. Just be careful, okay? Use your best judgment. That's all.
Look.
Good girl, Sunny Bear. I love Sunny.
Yeah. I love you too, Jesse. Come on.
Yeah.
You have your conversation and you feel not better, but you recognize that Sunny is not. She's not a ditz. She's not unintelligent. She's definitely.
She's got her wits about her.
She's had the same training that you have had.
Yes.
So she's not just going in with a blind eye. The stands start closing down. The shops slow down a bit. The fishmongers start putting their fish away. The ice, bereft of their salmon and crab and other deliciousness.
It's been a good day for all the merchants.
It's been a pretty good day. The spice shop closes up. It gets closer and closer to 6 p.m. And for the three of you, you have a decision. Do you make your way to your to the invited private viewing at the Conjurer's Cubbyhole?
Absolutely. I have no choice.
Well, I was planning on it. I
Okay.
don't really have anything else planned for the evening other than trying to call the contacts that I have.
Okay.
And that can wait.
Awesome. And Nay?
Nay will certainly go. But she's probably going to be doing a lot of watch checking, time checking.
Yes.
Because
Same.
she's super worried about getting to, what was it, Woodland Park?
Yes.
In time to help out. I mean, people are dying, and that's got to take precedence over some kind of political bullshit she doesn't know anything about yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would say so. It's not difficult to find the address now that you know where it's at. If you were given a card, you find yourself walking into a very well-maintained magic shop. The keeper in the shop looks at the three of you. It's like, "Ah, I see you've all received our invitations."
Yep. Here I am. Hello.
Yes. Are you ready to enter the theater of the mind?
Sure. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Sensing some hesitation here. Are you ready to enter the theater of the mind?
Yay!
Yes. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
let's,
Absolutely.
All right, that's better.
yay.
Like, follow me. He goes towards the back wall, and there's a door. And he opens up the door, And in the back room that this door leads to, the lighting is darker than the showroom, but there are occasional spotlights along the wall, and in one area there's a book open on a pedestal. Looks ancient. Another behind glass under light is a looks like a tiger's paw, and under another light you see a 6 or 7 inch wand on a pedestal as well. All of these different items, and underneath of them a plaque that has some sort of inscription. And behind all the different things that are behind glass are ancient posters. All of them of the great King of Magic, Rudolfo. And sitting in a grand chair is a very old, looks 90 years old, portly gentleman wearing a top hat. And he's just sitting back. He's like, more of them?
Oh.
He looks at the three of you. Are any of you Euthanatoi?
No.
No.
Nope.
Good. And then pushing you forward and pushing into the room and closing the door behind him, Frosty looks at him. It's like, what are you doing? Look, I'm Euthanatoi. Don't listen to this motherfucker. All right? He's old. He doesn't remember anything. Honestly, it's kind of tragic. But
Is that guy Rodolfo?
yeah, that is Rudolfo, the King of Magic, former chantry leader of the Seattle Theater of the Mind.
Theater of the Mind.
But, well, I used to look up to the old man. Still do. He's done some amazing things. Some of them real. Some of them not real. But you will never be able to know the difference. But, now, about 15, 20 years ago, when the technocracy was really pushing down on us, he couldn't take it. Things kind of fell apart. But that's what we're here for tonight. And he jumps past you, and there's a small stage on the left-hand wall, and it's covered by a red curtain. And he's like, now, you ready for this? Pulls the curtain back and reveals a passageway. And through the passageway, you see the bright lights of the Theater of the Mind. It is opulent. It is like a 1940s, 1950s, just gold everywhere. And you see there is a porter standing there waiting to take your coats. And there is concessions and different guards all throughout waiting to serve you. And you see other people milling about. And you walk through the corridor and you feel the shift in space and time. And you can see that this theater is on a street underground. And the street to the right goes on into nothingness. The street to the left into nothingness. Just dark, cavernous blackness. But the shining theater is there. As you and a handful of presumed mages are shuffled towards the auditorium. And that's where we're going to leave tonight.
Oh,
That's what I thought we were going to do.
I'm sorry. It's been like 2 hours.
That's perfect, though, man. You gotta leave
No.
them walk
fair.
forward.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm so psyched for next week. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, you gotta leave us with something to really look forward to.
Yeah. So, there we are. How are y'all feeling?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
This was
I
so
love
good.
that Frosty was a part part
Mhm.
I will definitely relate to Michael what happened.
Yeah.
Right?
I had-
You played him perfectly.
Oh, thanks. I like Frosty. I've always loved Frosty, and he was a fan of Rodolfo's, and he's helping the shop.
Oh my god. But not Brad having dimension and a vision though. That shit took me out. I was like, excuse me, sir? How dare? How dare? I'm not allowed to like you. How dare?
Oh no, there's plenty of great characters in TV and drama that are not good people, but you like to watch them.
Brad is complicated and I love it.
I don't know if
it's
he's
so good.
But,
No, Brad is extremely simple, but he has bought in
Mm-hmm.
to this, whatever this vision is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
I'm-
on the base human level, Brad is simple.
But yeah, this vision is very
What he's
interesting.
following is not.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like that. And I'm sorry, Sunny is perfect. I love her.
Okay.
I love her. Love her.
I had
Cornet.
to zip a bit, but yeah.
The business card move was choice. I was like, yes. Somebody please save us, because jeez. He's so slimy. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Yeah, Nay is gonna run herself ragged trying to help all of these people.
Yes. You are going to lose it, friend. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Let me think here.
The theater of the mind, the visuals that you chose for this, is this actually a place in Seattle?
No,
No? Okay.
this is a magical place.
Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, it's fucking Diagon Alley. I love it.
It existed prior to anybody knowing about Diagon Alley, but yes.
I agree. It's better that way.
I was gonna say it looks like a dimensional pocket that they.
Yeah. It's definitely giving like 40s. It's
And
definitely giving 40s.
What's funny is the theater shot in the lower right corner reminds me heavily of a theater that I saw a show in Branson, Missouri.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yo, it low-key reminded me of the Fox Theater. I don't know why, just like the opulence of it. It's very like the Fox Theater in Atlanta is like that.
Mhm.
It's very opulent. We went there for like some 8th grade field trip or whatever to see some Shakespeare play. What was it? The one with the pirate. It's not a pirate. The Tempest. That's
Tempest,
what it was.
yes.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yes, The Tempest. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
High school. Yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah, this just makes me want to go see a play now, to be honest. It's It's been a while
been a
since
while.
I've been to a theater. It's been a while. I can't believe we're all here now. This is so cool. Oh my gosh, we all know each other now.
Well, we are standing in the same room. We have
We're
not yet
standing in
done
the same room,
introductions.
and that's way more than we had before. So that's
Yes.
really cool. And I love how like everybody came to my stall. That's bomb.
You were our point of contact.
Hell yes! The Strawberry Connect. I'm here for it.
So this is where we're going to start off next time, where I'm going to leave the cards unrevealed
Ah!
so that we can play with them next time.
I was getting all excited to turn mine over.
I
was happy. I was like, we doing this.
I made an executive decision to leave that as a surprise.
That actually is
Next
mildly
Monday,
terrifying.
I'm coming for that card. Next
Oh, I have no
Monday,
idea what
that
these
card
cards
is
are.
Mine.
I know, but when the storyteller gets sneaky, I start getting concerned. Even if there's no reason for it.
I've always been sneaky.
Okay. Visibly sneaky?
Okay, I'll take that. Okay, well, anybody have any questions or anything that they want to address? They have their, if there's a magic question or a rule question.
Oh, I did
Is-
have one.
If you have the question, audience might have it too. Maybe I can answer it.
Okay, so this is random.
Okay.
But for our recap next week, are we going through like everything? I don't know. Like, are we going through everything that happened this week, or are we telling it? Like, that just determines if I take notes. Because I was taking notes, and then I got into character, and then I forgot to take notes. So that's what happened.
I mean, what do you want to do?
I want to create a good show.
Okay.
So I don't know. I know that this is going out at 4. So I'm just going to have to, you're just going to hear this podcast at work. Like, that's just what's going to happen, because that's what I'm going to be listening to.
Well,
like on Mondays,
maybe.
just expect my headphones to be in. That's what's happening.
that's fine.
Yeah, this works because I need to be like up on my shit.
Okay. So, I will, for next week, have you do some of the recap as well.
Oh,
Just
cool.
Kind of
Okay.
have things come from your perspective.
Awesome. Okay. This is cool. Because I took notes about Brad, and that was like the major thing. I took notes about Brad because I'm like fascinated by this character. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't like this character, but I'm fascinated. Like, okay. So I took notes about Brad.
Brad's in
Like
a dark
my
place
reaction.
right now. So
Brad is a dark place. Brad's a dark place right now.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Everybody's that at some point in life. It's fine.
Minus the magic and the monkey, I definitely met that guy.
Like, same.
Monkey. She's an orangutan.
Yes, she is an orangutan named Suzanne. Suzanne the orangutan. Get the fuck out of here. I
She
cannot.
just got that.
I cannot. Please. That's fabulous. I love it so much.
several years ago, Jimmy made this character. And he's like, I want an orangutan. And I'm like, what?
Like, could you get any more random?
I'm like, sure. Let's make a monkey.
I love it.
And I love Suzanne because she is taking nobody's shit.
Right, like at all. She doesn't even take Brad's shit. And I was just like, geez.
0 fucks to give.
Like, she holds no quarter. Like, none.
Yeah.
Suzanne is honestly probably my favorite right now.
Yeah, that was a super fun experience.
Yeah.
Really my favorite.
I'm glad to hear that. All right. Well, I think we'll leave it there. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for showing up.
Yeah.
And we'll be here next Monday too.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy for that. Thank
I
you.
sure will.
And yeah, it's been a Mage Monday, It's been a wonderful experience with my friends, and I hope we see anybody who's here watching back here next week as we continue this adventure on the Fragile Path. Seattle at dawn. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whoops.